Shakshni, you're under arrest.
Arrest.
Can I do that?
Can I? Shni, I mean, wise justice once, we'll make an exception.
Like, well, not exactly, but she's good old big old puppy dog eyes. Like, I guess. She's Shakshni, you're under arrest, and yeah. Ironwood just back. Actually, you're under arrest by me. Just pretend.
Winter busts in. Shakshni, you're under arrest. She actually has jurisdiction, so. Big sister stealing little sister's toys.
But yeah, I didn't even know that was Watts in the picture. I didn't even. Wow.
Yeah, just because his thumb was just right over. I'm like, show me who's under that thumb. You do it, and then bam, I'm like, there's a lot there. Now we just like give me a Pietro Watts reunion. And he's like, you're still playing with that toy. Like, she's not a toy, and he just has a bunch of weapons on his wheelchair. Like, well, I guess I could deplete the remainder of your aura, because Watts is just so schmarmy.
He really is.
You figure, too, all the weapons that are in Penny, he designed. So he I would love if he had, like, one of those giant green laser cannons right in the crotchal area of his chair. So it just looks like he's firing a big-ass green beam from his dick.
This is the only place that it would fit. Pew, pew, pew. Look away, Penny. Pew.
Hide the women and children.
And we're back. To deal with pet checkup on Ralph's end. So we left off. The sirens are going. Where'd the episode go? They go down, secure mantle, some good grim killing action. Lots of good action. We'll keep talking about it.
And we'll talk about some more.
They show that Ruby is not 100% in control of her silver eyes yet.
Nope.
She really need, like, it seems that she needs quiet. Like, in Volume 6, it was when she went into the Jinn world and, like, she had a moment of calm and there's no noise around her. And I think it was the noise of people, like, screaming and stuff. She couldn't focus.
She definitely has some performance anxiety. Like, she definitely needs training on activating it at will, like Maria did.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, she's
also,
really new at it and really young, so.
Yeah. Also, when Team Ruby, all the Aesop's Jr. and Ruby, fly out to Mantle, it is revealed that Neo is there. She is disguised as one of the servants.
Being as smug as she's always been.
And reports to Cinder that Oscar has the lamp. And then also, it is then that Ruby and Oscar decide we should tell Ironwood about what's happening.
I do not like this this flirty kitty sort of thing between Ruby and Oscar. I don't like it. Keep it.
You know where it's going.
Oh, yeah.
Of course you do. But I don't like it, and I don't need it, and I don't want it.
Agreed, but unfortunately, we gotta
it's what the people like, need, and want.
We gotta shut down the White Rose. We can't have another Bevengers. We gotta shut down White Rose while we still have time.
Dude, that ship has been in and out of port too many times already.
It's been sunk and risen too many times.
Yeah. So they go down there evacuating citizens. And is it next episode? It's next episode. So next episode continues with them evacuating, fighting the invasion of Grimm. Cool fight scene with Penny, Harriet, and Ruby where they cut off one of the tusks of the elephant Grimm, an ancient elephant Grimm.
Yeah.
And use it to kill itself, basically. Then as they're retreating to this area, the people of Mantle are like, they abandoned us, just take us up to Atlas. Why aren't you doing anything? They just keep like accosting Nora, and she's like, we're doing everything we can. Don't yell at me.
Your negativity's making it worse.
Yeah. And then screen comes up, and it's Robin Hill. Also, Oscar told everybody, and Ironwood told the councilman about Salem. And Ironwood starts to lose more resolve about like, oh, she just can't die. This isn't good. This is not good at all. Also, actually,
especially once you tell the council members and they're just like, well, what do we do? And you just go, you see them panicking and you just go, what? This is going to be the normal people's reaction.
Yeah, I don't even know if the councilmen know. They just showed that Ironwood told them about Salem because they were like talking about it in the hallway. But then Oscar's in the room with Ironwood by himself.
Yeah, so nobody knows but Ironwood that she's actually immortal.
Yeah. And it's also kind of revealed here that Ironwood was just like, okay, we just need to focus on what's in front of us. We need to keep evacuating the people of Mantle up here to Atlas. And Oscar says something that's a little bit beyond his knowledge, and Ironwood catches him on it. It's like, you say that like you were there, and it's like, Oz is bleeding. He's bleeding in, slowly but surely.
They're definitely melding. It's that was the moment where I paused and I just went, is this even still Oscar?
Yeah, there was a lot of people that were just like, has he just been switched for a very, very long time and he's just been imitating him? And I had to go back and just sort of look at a couple scenes. I'm like, I don't think that's exactly what it is. I think that they're just melding.
Yeah, I think it's because Ozpin's original name was
Ozma.
So Oscar Ozga? I don't know. Does he change his name to like respect the current host? We don't really know how that works. Do their personalities actually blend? Is it actually even Ozma you're dealing with?
Yeah, we don't know exactly how the mixture works.
Yeah,
because from what we've seen, we never really saw the last Oz, the white-haired one, and there was one when there's many lives. He was feeding his kids, and like he turned his head, and there was the dude just standing there looking at him in the corner. So I guess he's still there, but just not like in control.
Yeah,
or like something.
Like a phantom like a ghost in the shell. Essentially, it's going to be interesting to see how this develops. Just because it definitely seems like he's becoming more like Oz. There's a swagger in his step that wasn't there. There's confidence that was there that was not there last season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and when he's dealing with the existential crisis of I'm just gonna fade away one day, and I guess I just gotta accept that. Nobody tells him, no, you're not. Crow was right there, and he has experience and knowledge with Oz, and he can go, no, you're not. And Oz himself didn't go, no, you're not.
Yep.
So I think.
Yeah,
we'll see. He's not even realizing he's disappearing, and that's what's really interesting. Is we know this, we see this, we're understanding this. Every time we see his character say or do something, we have to wonder: is that Oscar's influence or Oz?
Mm-hmm.
What are we dealing with? Because he brought up those things to Ironwood so nonchalantly. He wasn't even questioning if it was his memory or Oz's. He was saying it with confidence. And that was subtle, but such a nice touch.
Yeah, there's something in the last episode I want to comment on as well in relation to this, but wait till we get there. But yeah, seeing how this pans out is interesting. There's also something I want to talk about in relation to Salem being unkillable. Ruby actually brought up the wording where they were walking, I believe, to the rally for Robin, where Ruby just says, she just said that Oz can't kill her. Maybe someone else can. We don't know. So it's like, cool. You're making the characters think about this. That's good.
The wording is super important.
Yes.
It is.
Because I'm not focused on that part. No, that's the part that you should be focused on. Because she goes, you can't kill her. And then you can't kill her at the point. You need help, you idiot. You can't. Y'all can.
Yep.
Yeah.
But they're just looking at the unkillable part and not the you can't.
I mean, there's one question left to be asked to Jin.
And I think that question is going to be asked by the current owner of the lamp. But
Yep.
we'll get to that.
Neo. She just points to her throat and Jin just shrugs like, I don't know what you want exactly.
Are you hungry? Is that what you're telling me?
How did you summon me?
Sign language. How?
It goes full on like Chibi, and she just holds up signs.
So as everybody's getting cornered, Robin Hill comes up on the screen with Ironwood holding his hand to show what he is saying is going to be the absolute truth. And he tells Mantle all of it about who Salem is, the people that are attacking, about Watts, about Tyrion, and gives a speech basically saying, like, we need to band together in order to beat her. And seemingly it's just like, okay, like, he's been facing adversity through, he's making the right choices.
Bum, 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 badum, 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 badum.
Start JoJo music.
So let's see. Back with citizens. So during the broadcast, they also revealed the plans for the Amity Tower, and Robin was just like, keep going to your destination points. These people in this sector, you know what to do. I'll be there shortly. And then they leave. Tyrion and Watts are there, and they're like, this grim attack was supposed to divide them, not let them
bring them closer together.
Yeah. And so, and Watts is like, oh, they hid these plans from me. I couldn't find them on the, whatever the...
No, he didn't say on the... He was just like, how do they hide these plans from me?
Yeah. So Watts is like, I'm going to go to the tower and see what's up. You need to brew more chaos. And Tyrion's like, oh, I have a plan for that. He goes off to try and kill
Robin,
and then Watts goes to infiltrate Amity Tower. Then Neo, is this after? Oh, no, this is after. Seemingly is going to try and, Neo meets back up with Cinder and says, you go get the lamp. I'm going to play into Ironwood's nerves a little bit. So as Watts gets to Amity Tower, it is revealed, oh, Ironwood's there. It was a trap.
You got played.
And then as Tyrion tries to attack Robin, it is revealed that is also a trap. Crow and Clover are there and ambush Tyrion. Next episode has one of the best action sequences in RWBY.
So amazing.
The Ironwood Watts fight is so good.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
I hate guns, but when he pulls out this ornate pistol, just like it's got all these jewels and like carvings in them, I'm like, that's a nice gun, sir.
Yep.
How he counts his bullets. He has 20 shots, and just as he shoots, 19, fires, 18, 17, 7, 5. All that was good.
That was so great.
They changed up Ironwood's guns because, like, the guy who did this, like, someone retweeted or something, the guy who does the sound and Foley for RWBY was like, this man is in charge of the most technically advanced military in the world. His guns aren't going to sound like a normal gun. That's why it sounds like a pulse rifle. And just now it's powerful enough to literally make him fly.
Yeah, that thing straight up stops him from falling. He breaks it just from the impact of it shooting.
He dodges midair with his gun.
Yep. He readjusts himself in midair.
And then, again, the fucking music. I want this song so damn bad. When Caleb Hiles, which... Shut up. When Caleb Hiles comes in, which he guested on for the song, because a couple of months ago he covered Red Like Roses Part 2, and Casey Lee Williams, the main vocalist for all of RWBY music, guested on his cover. And so that them in conversations, and he guested in a song, and he fucking killed it.
He did.
The song is amazing. And just like, again, how the choreography of the fight, where Ironwood gets like a big hit, he falls, lands, and then Caleb's music comes in with the guitar riff and everything. And it's just, I want the song so bad.
No, for me, the music cue that got me was in the next episode where they're fighting and they take one of the Aesop down and then the lyrics start. I went, that was really,
both of them.
Really good.
Both of them
did
something similar. And yeah, I will get to that once we get to that fight. But yeah, just as the fight's going on, Watts is just venting his frustrations of just like, you just took all of the glory for yourself and sat atop the mountain like a giant. You picked that fat imbecile over me. He does not like James Ironwood at all. And then gets to the
whole thing with the gravity was really, really good. I'm sitting there just like, I'm sitting there like, these poor animators need to do all this, but boy, did they do it. Imagine this in Volume 4. It would look so bad.
Volume 5.
I don't even want to try to imagine it. It's not even worth it. It's just not even worth imagining.
Ironwood would be trying to summon a giant statue of ice when he can't. repeatedly shot in the face.
My speed semblance. That's not me either. Clone. Nope.
I'm at 17 bullets and I've already shot your arm off. This isn't... I did not expect it to be this easy.
But yeah, them just flying through the air and the rings just activating stuff. I went, this is a really good fight. I very rarely rewatch fights in RWBY. I can count on one hand the ones I did. The 2 Neo fights, the Maria fight in the past, which was really, really good. This one and the entire next episode I've rewatched quite a lot. Oh, and the big robot fight. I love the big robot fight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love this. This wasn't just like a punch fight, even though once it got to the punch fight, they just turned their guns around, just started pistol whipping each other. That was great, but it was just very inventive. This dude is just like, I'm not strong, but I'm super smart, and I got these hacks that I know I can do, and I love crap like that. Ironwood's just like, well, I got this big gun. I got the biggest and the best gun.
And 2, Watts had like the rings that were able to use Elysian tech, And I recently rewatched the fight with Cordovan, and Cordovan states that Atlas was the sole inventor of hard light dust, and that's what Watts was using. A tiny hard light shield.
He definitely is responsible for it.
Continuity.
Not even a question.
Yep. Fantastic.
So yeah, it was just like the tech and his rustic revolver versus the biggest and strongest gun. Big gun, big strong.
It's just a gun. It doesn't need anything else.
It's just a gun.
It doesn't need to be a scythe.
Yes, it does.
They actually, and one of the shots too was like super homage for the Matrix as well, which was cool. When they're like both in the 0G area and they're like shooting around each other and like punching each other, headbutting each other in the face. And then they get to the part where they're just slugging it out, and then they stop. They're both out of ammo, and Watts is like, "It seems my brains and your brawn are evenly matched." And Ironwood's like, "Seems so, but you're not the only one who can count." And then they're just like breathing for a second, and then Christopher Sabat, you delightful, delightful man, just as conniving as possible. "Oh, I know." Shoves his arm into this grating and puts the hard light shield around Ironwood's real arm.
Through his arm, essentially.
No, it was just trapped in there.
Okay. Yeah.
It was trapped. And he's just like, okay, like, it's like, that was a little too close to my liking, and now I'm going to have to replace some new rings. It's going to be so annoying.
He knew he couldn't win in a straight gunfight, so he loudly announces his bullets, makes him get up close and personal, going, "You ain't got no bullets left, you not a threat," and then he traps him. Mm-hmm. And they don't even sit down and turn to the camera and explain that. I love it. Because if he would have just went, you see, Ironwood, what you didn't know. No, he just went, "No, I got you," and you're done. And you had to think about, why was he out loud counting his bullets?
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
And then Ironwood tries to pull his arm out, and it's basically peeling the skin off of his arm. And he's like, "Oh, you don't want to do that unless you want to add some more metal to your body." And then he's like looking through the plans to see like how far along Amity is. And Ironwood just goes, YOLO, rips his arm out of it, and it is just a red, burning mess. He can't use it. It's floppy.
Yeah.
Watts is like, "Oh shit." He just runs up with the metal arm, drags him all the way across the arena, holds him over this pit of lava, and says the line that's basically the summary of his character of, "I will sacrifice whatever it takes to stop her." And I hope you do, James. I hope you do. Then from there, we go to
that line. Hold on. We got to pause, though.
Go ahead.
That line. There's some layers to it. I want to know what you guys think on it. Do we think Watts was being... What do you think Watts was insinuating with that? Do you think it was the direct meaning of, "I hope you sacrifice everything to beat her," knowing that he can't?
No, he's going, "I hope that you sacrifice Atlas. I hope that you're just an arm and a head just flopping around going, Salem." He's going, "I hope you sacrifice everything because you's a piece of and I know that you will."
Okay.
He wants him to just sacrifice everything and everybody just stop trusting him and him to just be out on his own or just defeat it.
Exactly. He was goading him.
Okay. I wanted to make sure. Yes. I wanted to see what everyone else's thoughts were.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was just goading him because he knows no matter what he sacrifices, he's going to fail.
Okay. All right.
And he knows that Salem was coming because that was kind of the hidden agenda.
Oh, yeah.
And from there, we cut to Crow, Clover, and Robin fighting Tyrion. Nice short little fight. I was really thinking that Robin's weapon sucked until this point.
Yeah.
It's like you have everyone else that has guns, and it is shown that Tyrion can block bullets without even looking in Volume 4 with his tail. And he's just like, he catches the arrow between his fingers, blocks everything else, and then he catches the arrow in his mouth, but then it's like, oh, she's Green Arrow. It's an explosive arrow. Okay. Weapon has been redeemed.
Yeah.
So they capture Tyrion, they capture Watts. Let's see.
And then Ironwood takes Watts' bag and he drops it because he's like, holy shit, what is that?
Was this? I think this is the same episode.
Yeah, because the episode ended with them just going, don't let them get out of this room.
Yes. So he gets back with like his arm in a sling and all fucked up, and then he gets to the room, his office, and then drops the bag that Watts has been carrying since his introduction.
Yep,
mind you, in this volume. And he contacts Winter saying, "Did anyone get into the school that you didn't know, like that wasn't accounted for?" She's like, "No." He's like, "Check again." Winter runs off immediately, which
realizing
was
what
the
he's
plan.
referring to. Yep.
Yeah, Cinder is watching Winter, and then he calls Team Ruby, Aesop's, and Juniper back. They get back, and Ironwood shows the queen chess piece was left on his desk, and how, and he had actually had a conversation with Oscar prior, in a few episodes prior, we didn't mention it, in the doorway to the relic of the queen icon, and how much that taunted him, and how much, like, he just hates that Salem was able to best his military and what have you. And how he was basically, at that point, he was just like trying to deny his fear. Like, he's not afraid. He doesn't want it to happen again.
Set up and pay off.
Yep.
Yeah, this is the part where he flips out, saying just like, they managed to get into my office. They're here. They've been under my nose this whole time. And they noticed that the chess piece is made of glass, so it's Cinder. And this is when Team Ruby is like, "Oh, Cinder's still alive." And
really more of a man.
Yeah,
true.
And also believe, which I think is cool too, because there's still some mystery behind it, that she's still working for Salem.
Oh yeah, they don't know.
Yeah, they don't know. She's pretty much on her own right now.
Mm-hmm. Because they were thinking, it's like, well, if she's here, then Hazel must be here as well.
Yeah.
And so he's just like, what if they want us together, all of the people on Atlas? What if this was like all part of their plan? And he's just paranoid as fuck. And then he's thinking about declaring martial law. And they just are going back and forth saying, you can't do this. You can't abandon everybody. And then the bag starts moving, Watts' bag, and then the Metroid Grim pops out of it. And then smoke comes out, and Salem appears as like a ghost message.
Yep.
Starts taunting Ironwood. And again, this is the Salem that I like. The calm...
This is the Salem we needed.
Charismatic Salem. Where it's like, just give me the relics and it'll all be over. Like just a comforting
Salem.
mother.
And she's just towering over him, just cornering him. Just like, well, you've got nowhere to run, so just get me here.
Yeah. With a smile. Just like an innocent smile. Like, just do it. Like, just do it for me. And then Ruby gets at her saying, we know about your past. We know you can't be killed, but we've seen that you failed time and time again, and you will again. And then The next part, this is probably one of my favorite things, where it's just like,
this is my favorite moment in the whole volume.
You have this big bad,
Yep.
and it's just like, all right, like, it's the big bad, what have you. But then you introduce personal stakes.
Mm-hmm.
And she just calmly glides over to Ruby, gives her a once-over. Your mother said the same thing to me once. And Ruby's just like, what? And just like, and she failed like you will too. And Ruby just starts flipping out.
Legit just starts
bursts into tears.
Shifting. That like glitch shifting into memories of her mom.
And her eyes are just going crazy. They're shifting left to right. They're like flickering in and out of silver.
Yep.
Oh man, this is some really good animation.
Yep.
That was my favorite part.
The calm turnaround and just, your mother. I'm like,
yo, mama.
just cut straight to the bone.
She just walked into Ruby. Was like, oh, let me pick up this mic and drop it on you.
Literally though, it's not even wrong. Salem's like, oh, you want to act like hot shit? I've seen enough of people like you over my fucking lifespan. You don't even count as a blip on my radar. And she got that all across with a quick, calm delivering of, yeah, your mom said the same, but she's dead.
Yep. So as Salem disappears,
the added meaning, is that Summer was fully realized.
Yeah,
she was strong. We've got that established.
And Salem's just like, yep, just another silver-eyed warrior.
Not
in
even
the ground.
Yeah, not even a blink. She was just like, yeah, your mom thought that. And just the meaning of that, because again, we've heard Crow say Summer was strong. Summer was confident. Summer was good at what she did. Still died.
Mm-hmm.
And
Summer was Ruby's inspiration for becoming a huntsman to begin with.
And Ruby is getting better, but she cannot control Silver as it will. And that is massive.
Mm-hmm.
Big.
Seemingly. There's certain instances which we'll get to.
True.
So after that happens, Ironwood's like, all right, I'm declaring martial law. I'm going to use...
Shut it down.
Yeah, it's over. Just shut it all down. We done.
We going right in the sky, boys. Right up there.
Using the Staff of Creation, which is levitating Atlas. We going higher, where Grimm can't touch us.
What about all the people? What about them?
Yeah.
We got enough.
Sacrifice the few to save the many. She can't get these relics. We are not going to let her get these relics. And then, and I
like it. I like that because practice what you preach.
Mm-hmm.
If he was just like few the many, whatever, he's like, no, I'm putting this into practice. Winter follows Ironwood to the T. Where and Penny's just like, what about your sister? He's like, the many outweighs even my sister.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much they believe in this crap. And that's what's making me just like, I don't see these guys as villains, nothing. I'm just like, they're trying their best to do the right thing for as many people as possible.
It's the clashing of ideals. It's basically like
Iron Man and Captain America.
I was about to say Civil War. Yeah, like Civil War. They're both trying to do the right thing, how they think that should be done. Then right as he's basically like, I'm about to declare martial law, Jean tries to call Ruby, and Ruby just zips around the desk saying Ironwood's about to declare martial law, like basically tries to spill everything, and then Ironwood blocks all of their scrolls, which were provided by Atlas, so he has that capability. And he's basically like, until we have the situation handled, you and all of your friends are under arrest. And they're like, we're going to try and fight you. I know. And he walks out.
I know.
And then right at the end of the episode, Jean, the reason he was calling was because Oscar is missing. There was a fight in his room, and he has the lamp.
And that's kind of really important.
Yep. Next
Just a
episode
little.
starts with the prison flight with Tyrion, Clover, Robin, and Crow. And this is some of the best Tyrion we have ever gotten. When Clover gets the arrest warrant, he immediately is like, yo, Crow, I gotta arrest you. It was like no ifs, ands, or buts in the man. He's like, oh, got my orders. Let's do it.
Nope.
And
I'm a fully trained soldier. This is my job. This is what I do.
Robin immediately is just like, I knew you guys were awful, and she's like ready to fight. Crow's trying to disarm the situation, and Tyrion is just egging them on. My favorite line is like, oh, a ride and a show. And then just...
I hated Tyrion before this. I kind of like him now. In like 1.5 episodes, I'm like, I get you now. I get it.
Yes. I've always liked him.
I just didn't like, he goes too far with the crazy where there's a certain point that you can go with the crazy where you're just like, yep, I got it. And then you go too far and it's like, yep, no, I definitely get it now. But then he went a step further than that. Like, well, you could have stepped 2 steps back and we would have gotten it. Just the sitting down and just more ha 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 ha. If he had done that here, that would have just, as they're arguing back and forth, he's just in the background cackling. I wouldn't have liked that, but he's just egging them on in the background, just like, come on, let's get to the good part.
Being a full-on shitlord.
Robin fires an arrow. They start fighting. Crow's just like, all right. He gets out, starts fighting. And then they deflect one of Robin's bolts. It hits the thing that was holding Tyrion down. He just goes, kills the pilot, which you got to think that pilot the entire time they're fighting is just like, let's just get to
stay the course.
Stay the course.
Just starts to roll up his limo window, just like.
My wife's got dinner waiting at home. I got the criminals.
No, my hat.
Yeah, so all of a sudden, plane seems to herky-jerky. They look over. Crow is, what are you doing? The will of this! And just puts the plane to a nosedive. Clover just yeets the fuck out of the plane.
He goes, what is going down? I'm out of here. No questions asked. Like, I need to be here.
Just hit the door, jump. Like, not even a second passes. Plane crashes. We cut back to Team RWBY and Aesop's, where they're again clashing of ideals. All the other RWBY girls pull out their weapons, and they're like, "You seriously think you're gonna fight us?" And then RWBY pulls out the scythe, and you think you have a chance to beat us? We're the best huntsmen in Atlas. You were. Then you trained us, and she just busts out the door. And this is where we had talked. Go ahead.
That type of line is what they were going for when 2 volumes ago where it's like, no, I'm mad.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was when people just go, yeah. But that was just a big old wet fart. But this was a yeah.
Yeah.
Whoever threw whatever that was, exactly. Great line. Fuck yeah.
I believe that was true.
We had talked about this earlier, where people were complaining about this fight of how did Team RWBY beat the Aesops? And we had alluded to it prior, but this fight was fucking awesome. Again, the song, I want the song.
It was a good song.
I'm analyzing these songs a little bit more now, just because it never occurred to me. There's a song in the last album called Nevermore, and the song is based on Blake and Yang's fight with Adam. And there are 2 different singers on that. It's Casey Lee Williams and then the other female singer. And they each are playing Yang and Blake. And the lyrics that they sing pertain to those characters. And I'm like, actually, as I'm looking at this lyrics, hearing the song, this is really good. The song's really good, too. But then that made
awesome.
the song...
I wish I could hear that song.
Fuck you. I hate you. Listen to the album! It's good.
Same.
So, and there's from what I could tell, 3 different singers on this song, including Casey Lee Williams and the girl who sang in Nevermore. There's another one though. So they're playing different roles in the song, but I would need to hear the lyrics. And choreography, again, very good.
It's all right. We'll get the album in 6 months.
And they played into the weaknesses of each of the Aesops, which all of the Aesops, someone did actually a little deep dive of this I saw online, and it makes sense. All of the Aesops, they're based off of Aesop's fables, but all of them haven't learned the moral lesson of each of the fables.
No, they have not. They are the cautionary tale.
Harriet is overconfident, which is why the hare loses in the Tortoise of the Hare. I forget the actual name of the story, but for Marrow, it's a dog who has a bone in its hand, and then it sees its reflection and sees a bone with another dog. It drops its bone to grab the bone in the reflection and loses both. And it's basically indecision. Willow and Ivy, the story for them is the Ivy was looking for support from the Willow, and the Willow didn't give Ivy the support. And that's what happens. Harriet is way overconfident and underestimates them. Willow and Ivy work separately. They don't work in tandem very well, and they are up against the 2 best teammates of RWBY, Blake and Yang. They both can fight together very well, have a lot of experience fighting together really well, and have killed people together very well. And then Marrow just is, because he's indecisive, he feels like he's becoming friends with Team RWBY. He is trying to be friends with
He was the only one to speak up, being like, hey, we don't have to do this.
Yeah. And it was proven earlier on that the Aesops do not consider each other friends.
Nope.
It's very plainly stated by Harriet.
Very little to no teamwork there. And when you got look at RWBY, they're all helping each other. Even when RWBY zoomed in and just blocked the shot from Marrow. Even the wall, they're helping each other. There is a million reasons why they lost. Could you see the universe where the Aesops won? Absolutely. But I have no problem with it. I have a couple problems, just small problems around it. Like at one point, the fast one just goes, I had you guys pay from the start. I knew you would do this. I was like, maybe we could have developed that a little bit more.
Agreed.
Because that line just seemed to come out of nowhere. I think that was it.
Some people were getting pissed at how angry Willow was.
Oh, yeah.
But
no, I can see
know.
that.
Yeah, it's like she, like in the episode prior when they find out that Yang and Blake told Robin about the Amity plan, she gets kind of angry there. So there's like, at least an episode prior, there's establishment of why she's pissed. She seems to value honor.
I think the Aesops could have had a half episode to an episode to themselves just to develop them a little bit more. Other than that, I think the fight just went absolutely fantastically. There was no real things that you could point to and just go, why were they just standing around, like the Volume 5 fight or any number of fights that you could just point to. I really love this fight. All of them.
The like the big thing I know people were saying too is like Marrow could have just stopped all of it, but again, indecision. He had stated like, I'm not trying to use excessive force. I'm just trying to arrest them.
Yep.
And by the time he finally does use his semblance, Weiss has positioned herself accordingly. She is not in the same line of sight as her summon, so she can control it independently. And it seems that Marrow has to whatever he is making stay has to be within his field of vision when he snaps his finger.
Yep.
Exactly.
But yeah, each volume, or at least this last volume and this volume, has certain shots of action that just give me goosebumps every time I see them. Last volume, it was the Cinder Neo fight where Cinder bounces off of the ceiling and does a flame punch, and like Neo barely dodges it, and with the flame fist going right past her face. Love that fucking shot. In this one, it's when Yang jumps up, ties up Ivy, and does the flip to slam him into the ground. And when the music kicks in,
the song hits as Team RWBY's like, yo, we can do this? And the Aesop's like, wait, what? They can do this?
Yeah. All of them are like,
confidence goes up, confidence goes down. And it's like, they did it? Now they're up 1 and we're down 1. And we don't have our leader. Who's at least on equal footing with Crow, who's an amazing huntsman. There's plenty of reasons why this happened.
And just like the ingenuity of like just how smart some of the things that they're doing in the fight. Like the whole thing where Yang throws the mines onto the rock, throws it up to Blake, Blake kicks it, and Willow or Ivy just knocks it out of the way. He's like, oh, I'm just going to grab you. I was like, oh, Blake just grabbed all the bombs and shadow away. Good stuff. Smart uses and applications of your semblances.
They know that Willow needs to ground herself. They break the ground. Oh, that's her just done.
Yeah. Right. And then Yang being smart, and she just doesn't activate her semblance right away as she goes up to Willow. It's like, oh, rocket launcher and earthquake. Just light them up, light the ground up. It's
absolutely
like you go from that to Volume 5, the Belladonna household, where son and Daddy Belladonna just wait for the two assholes to melt the ice cone. To this day, that still pisses me off.
I mean, as it should.
It's so dumb. Like, obviously they have somebody new doing the fight choreography, but just like, where were they? Where were they in that volume? Oh.
No one said a word about this? Really?
We did?
Yeah, yes, we did. I've been saying it every goddamn year.
I'm talking about somebody in the studio. The fight, the people overlooking the fight. Nobody said, can we have them doing something, maybe?
Break the ice with their feet? Maybe? Anything. Nah. But yeah, the whole rest of that fight, great. Then we cut to the plane crash. Crow checks on Robin. She seems to be all right. Clover is like, we need to get her some help. If you come quietly, we can just immediately go. He's prioritizing the arrest, and Crow is just,
he ain't having it.
I feel like we could have been like good partners. It's like, I thought of you as a friend.
Or more.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's like, you clearly don't know my friends. It always ends like this. It's like, oh, Crow.
He can't catch a break.
They start fighting. And then as they're fighting, cuts to Tyrion, who is faking being passed out. And then he's still tied up in his hands. And again, another great Tyrion moment where he just breaks his own thumb, gets ecstasy from it,
and then pops it right back in after sliding his hand free
every
of the
time I
cuffs.
see that scene, like, I just get a shiver where he just like puts his thumb down and I'm like, ow.
He is something else, to be sure.
Emphasis on
and then
thing.
he comes up.
Oh yeah, that's racist.
Don't stop on my account. Wasn't planning to. They start fighting. Crow is getting torn back and forth between Tyrion and Clover. And Crow's just like, we still have a score to settle. Oh, I agree. So why don't you say we put the kid to bed and finish it? And then Crow and Tyrion start fighting Clover 2v1. And just like seeing like the calm and collected Crow, and then next to him, just like crazy Tyrion going at it. And just some of the stuff where they're like tag teaming, where like Crow gets knocked back and then Tyrion like uses his tails like like pushes him back towards Clover. Good stuff.
Really
Yes,
good.
it was.
A lot of people had a problem with Crow joining up with Tyrion. Again, no issues here. Because if Crow thinks that he can beat Tyrion, but he doesn't think that he can beat Clover, then team up with him and then beat him. Mm-hmm. Easy thing. You got a good luck semblance versus a bad luck semblance. This dude has been shown, as you guys were sparring, basically, he was at least matching you.
Mm-hmm.
And he's matching you and Tyrion. So if you put Tyrion and Crow on the same level, he's matching essentially two people of the same caliber.
Mm-hmm.
And he's still just holding his own. He had this armed Crow.
Yeah, he disarmed Crow.
So
Tyrion goes at him.
So if Crow's like, I can't beat this dude alone, and he's not working with me to beat you, we'll beat him, I'll beat you, and then sort it out.
Mm-hmm.
No issues there.
So he loses his sight sword, and as Tyrion's trying to attack Clover with the carving, his semblance to carve away aura, he pushes him away, and then Crow uses his signature move, punch! Which has seemingly been a thing with Crow. He just can punch people really fucking good.
Yeah, yes, he
That's a
can.
good shot.
Which breaks...
I figured it out.
Which breaks
We
Clover's...
just have to hit him really, really hard.
Yeah. He breaks Clover's aura, and just is like, why couldn't you just do the right thing instead of the thing that you were told? And he reiterates back what Winter's been saying. Sometimes you need to make the hardest choices need to be made for the greater good. I trust Ironwood with my life. And right as that happens, Tyrion at that point had picked up Crow's sword and just rams Clover through with it. And from that point had one of the best shots in RWBY, the silhouetted shot of him being impaled, blood just in deep red, and then the silhouettes in dark black.
Yeah, that callback to when Yang got her arm cut off was nice.
And there ain't no coming back. Like, Crow has a Buster sword.
It's a big boy.
there ain't no coming back from a, foot-long...
There's no coming back from a gaping hole the size of your abdomen.
No, there's really not.
Just a foot-long, 4-inch wide stab wound through the gut. And Crow's just like, what did you do? He's like, oh, you mean how you killed Clover? Just throws Crow's sword down. And Tyrion just runs away. He's just like, oh, I see the cavalry has arrived. Seems it's my time to run. After all, you know my reputation with the authority, or my track record with the authorities. And just runs away. I think they that's what I think they struggled to do, at least to what you were expecting, DA, where he's crazy but intelligent.
Oh yeah, without a doubt, hands down, he is very, very smart.
Yeah.
And they needed to add that part too, and they did. And I'm like, I can dig it now, because he could have just easily killed Crow, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
This causes more mayhem and chaos, and sows the seeds, and it does everything he needs to. Because if he's dead, he just go, oh well, Tyrion just killed them both. But now it's just there's so much there with that, and I really appreciated it.
Yep.
And I'm digging. He's getting there.
Yep. Then Clover.
He's getting up there.
He's like, one of us had to take the fall, and Crow's just like, Ironwood is going to pay for this. And we also get to, as we said before, all the Aesopes didn't learn the moral of their stories. And I forget the exact name of Clover's, but it was like the something fisherman. And the big thing with his story was patience. Where if basically the fisherman was patient and ended up catching a really good fish, the luck was in his favor. He was impatient in trying to arrest Crow right away. It's like, oh, I got it. Time to go. Let's go. You're arrested. Let's move it. Come on.
Orders.
Yep. Didn't stop to think. Didn't stop to be patient to try and address the situation, and got a sword rammed through his gut because of it. So during all of that too, Penny and Winter are heading to the Winter Maiden, and that's where they have the conversation of sometimes we need to, in order to do what's best for the greater good, sacrifices have to be made. And Penny is just like, I don't see what's good about this at all. And it's like, your sister, you're going to abandon her. And Winter restates that. And again, and I love the dichotomy of Winter when Penny's like, I don't see what's good about this at all. And she walks away.
Yep.
And Winter's just like, on that, we can agree. And moves on. So it's like, she's a good soldier. She follows orders, but she doesn't have to accept those orders.
She don't like it, but she's out there doing it. She's like the mission, my sister, but the mission. And we're doing the mission. I love it.
So they're setting up the aura transfer machine, which that was my big thing. I'm like, why didn't they just do that? They didn't seem to have a problem with Amber. So why are they having
Amber was nearly dying.
Yeah.
Half her soul was taken.
I mean, technically, so was this lady, because Winter stated she's gonna die any day now.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
Get in there.
So then Winter also states to Penny, saying yes, Penny, we can't abandon our emotions, but we have to, in order to perform our missions and perform our duty, we have to wrestle with them, and it recognize where they're coming from, and it lets us know that we're on the right path. It's we need to recognize our personal feelings. And then room shakes. They're like, what's going on? They go out. Cinder has followed them, blows a hole in the hallway, blows a hole in the door, and Penny's just like, you're the one who basically killed me at Beacon. It's something that was unfortunately temporary. Now step aside or there won't be anything left to rebuild. How does that mean? How about that? And then Penny, as she does, it gives me personal feelings. I love it. And then
whoever put pen to paper and wrote Penny's dialogue is a monster. They know what they're doing with her, and I like it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm glad that she's sticking around.
Yep.
I think this happened before a lot of this stuff, but they catch up with Team Juniper, and they're looking around. They're like, oh, where's Oscar? Where's Oscar? Oh, there he is. They walk up to him, and they hear, get away from her. He runs up and Falcon punches Neo in the face, which breaks her illusion.
Didn't really like that. Point down for Oscar.
You touched the goddess. How
dare you?
This gives him personal feelings.
And then she loses the lamp at that point. And a lot of people were like, how does Team Juniper know about Neo? But it's well, it's been weeks. They could have told them about her. That didn't bug me too much. And it wasn't even a thing where it's just it wasn't even a thing where it's just we meet again. Jean plainly states, we haven't heard good things. We've never met her, but we know of her.
Yeah, Yang fought her twice. Yang and all of Team RWBY, and they were together traveling. So, hey, what are your battles? Oh, we fought this weird glass girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And Torchwick introduces her. He's like, Little Red, Neo. He actually introduced her. Next episode is the start of Team Juniper versus Neo. Very, very good moments. My favorite, another shot that I love is where Ren fires his two little blade grappling hooks, his basically his maneuver gear, and tries to fly kick towards Neo, and she goes like, "Oh no!" Like holds her hand to her mouth, and then just splits. Ducks right underneath with umbrella hook, just throws him back down the hallway. Then they manage to briefly seemingly grab her. Like Oscar dives and grabs her feet, and then she's just like, "Oh, illusion out of here." They end up getting chased by the guards, and Oscar is lagging behind just because he is beat to shit by Neo previously.
He's so tired.
And then he loses track of everybody. He gets pulled out of the way of the guards, and then he's just like, "Oh, okay," and it seems to be Nora. He turns around, but then immediately ducks back. The umbrella comes out, and it's Neo pretending to be Nora. More fight stuff. Ren goes up to try and basically like go for a killing blow on Neo, and she has the lamp at this point. But this is another great scene. She's
great scene.
About to be stabbed by him, and she currently has the Neo eyes, she blinks, and it goes back to Nora's eyes, and she gives like a sad face of like, "How could you do this to me?" And he hesitates, and
she just dips.
Yeah, dips, and then she runs away. And at that point, the guards come back, so they just all have to run, and then it cuts back to Ren, and he's just crying.
Oh my goodness.
Because probably to him, it's just like, even if it was fake, he's like, I almost just killed my love.
He couldn't
love of
do
my life.
it.
Yep.
Oh, just exploiting that. And they lost it because of that. And now he's blaming himself like, if I could have done it. And this could be the emphasis of them just going, I got to cut off these attachments. I can't let this happen again. That could be the start of something like that.
Mm-hmm. He uses his powers to numb everything, including his love for Nora.
Oh, just that one little moment.
All because of that. He was all like, yep, gotta follow orders, gotta do everything to put a greater good. Throughout whole volume, he was fighting Nora. He couldn't do it.
It was a personal
it's because he feels things.
And then also at the end of Ruby fighting the Aesops, Maria and Pietro come in, and Maria's like, well, this is the part where they ask for help. They managed to steal an airship. This is the part where they're like getting all down on themselves. This is where they reestablish connections and just, it's like, hello there. It's like, Maria, is that you? Smartest man in Atlas. And so they managed to get another airship. They're coming around to get Team Juniper. And then Oscar says, go on without me. There's something that I have to do that only I can do. Then Cinder is fighting Penny and Winter, and another good fight. And honestly, Cinder had my favorite line of the whole damn volume.
No. It's a good line, but no. She's Cinder.
For me, it was. I know she's Cinder. That I don't judge it by that.
I do.
Just, you Elysians think you're all the same.
You hoard your power, thinking it makes you better than everyone else.
But it only makes it. But yeah. You hoard your power, thinking you're better than everybody else, but it only makes everybody hungrier. And I refuse.
Only makes
to
the
starve.
rest of us hungrier.
Yeah, and I refuse to starve. That part of it was just like, ooh. And again, like, Cinder for the first 5 volumes, four like gave a little bit of character development by shutting her up, but
perfect.
5 was another thing. But then 6 and 7, again, to me, the one line that like told me more about Cinder than any other line was in volume 6 when she pays Madame Malachite money. It's like, that looks like some life savings. And she just very dryly says, it was somebody's. I'm like, okay, I can now, like, you are painting yourself as a villain to me. And now there's just the motivations behind it, where it's just like, she does not want to be weak, ever. She wants what she wants, and she will get it.
I think this is definitely setting up for a little bit of a backstory in next volume. Maybe even the character short in the beginning. That could be just a nice little 7 or 8 minute thing of her past.
So they're fighting. They have a aerial battle where Cinder is flying with the flame magic of the maiden. Nora just has booster jets, so
Nora sure does have them booster jets.
She does.
She's just like, I'm here now.
Launcher's very versatile.
Penny's flying around. Winter summons a Griffin Grim summon and starts flying around, but then Cinder just knocks her the F out. She loses her aura. She's just falling to her death, and Penny's just like, I'm going to save you. Penny goes and saves her. Winter's like, what are you doing? The mission. And Penny's just like, basically, shut up.
Enough.
Screw the mission.
Cinder goes up, opens the casket. The maiden wakes up. What was Freya? Her name was Freya.
Yeah, Freya.
And she's just like, I had something I needed to do. And it's like, I was waiting for someone. Cinder's like, yes, me. She reaches out with the Grim hand and just is grabbed. It's like, oh, that's right. I had a job to do. Her eyes flare up, and she just summons a tornado of ice and power.
She turns that room into Detroit currently.
Yes.
Not funny, but true.
That, like, no one can get even close to, and it's, like, way more powerful than anything we've seen from Cinder or Amber, Amber was stated to be a relatively new maiden in previous volumes. And Winter and Penny's just like, what is that? And Winter's like, that's the power of a fully realized maiden. And Winter tries to get close. Immediately,
the visuals of it, though.
Yeah.
Just honestly, the visuals of it.
It basically was Aang going into the Avatar state.
Exactly. We thought we had seen, quote unquote, maiden battle, maiden power up to this point. We haven't. What she was doing without any actual control over herself was ridiculous.
And then that dumb piece of crap Raven
gets worse.
She just makes a big sword. Oh, I hate her.
We all do. Well, some people like her, but they're weird.
Yeah, that's a great question. Who? Winter tries to get in. Basically, her fingers get immediately frostbitten. She's like, it's too cold. I can't get in there. So Penny's like, I'm made of metal.
And I'm combat ready.
She so at that point she goes in, like leg freezes, she just boosters her way in. She calms the maiden down. The maiden's just like, oh, I've been waiting for somebody to pass this on. It's like, I know I'm forgetful, but I remember that once
I have a job
to do. I have a job to do. Once I meet this person, I'll be gone. She falls down, her powers fade. Still ice covered. The room's still ice covered, including the aura transfer machine.
Yep.
And she looks at Penny, is just like, what's your name? It's Penny. Are you the one that I'm waiting for? I'm Cinder busts in. It's like, she's mine. Runs up. Winter busts in. Chops Cinder's grim arm off. And I do gotta say, props to Negri. Those screams.
Yeah, they were feral. They were on point.
At that point, she's just angry, attacking Winter, drawing blood, beating the shit out of her. Throws her to the wall. At that point, Freya dies, And Penny becomes the Winter Maiden. She's a real girl.
In one season, she's just like, she's alive, and then at the end of the season, like, oh, she's like double alive, y'all. She's sticking around.
And I do gotta say, with what happens with Oscar at the end of this, and where she is currently, Team Juniper is missing a P.
Yep.
So, she becomes the maiden. At that point, Ruby and Weiss show up. And at this point, Ruby sees Cinder. No fucking hesitation. She's like, light him up, motherfucker. Silver Eyes.
Here we go.
Be gone, thought. Be gone.
Yeah.
Literally.
At that point, Cinder just books it. Then Weiss is just like, what did you all do? Because she knows that there's an arrest warrant out. And Penny's just like, she's gone. And it's like, no, she's a part of you now. And Weiss is like, you're hurt. We need to get you help. She's like, I'll be fine. You need to go. It's like, I'm not going to leave you. It's like, you don't understand. I'm giving you a head start. This is Weiss Schnee requesting medical assistance and backup at my location.
Winter Schnee, said Weiss.
Sorry. And then just...
yeah, Weiss is calling for military backup, you know. Yeah. She's just kind of got that going for her now.
Yeah.
Weiss turned traitor.
And then Weiss just says, we have to carve out our own path. And then Ruby, and Penny get on the ship. Maria and Yang and Blake fly in. They get on the ship and they leave, as well as the rest of Team Juniper.
Winter with her hair down, looking fly to the mother, just looking sad. I want more hair down, Winter. She looks so good like that. She is pure the mission, where she's just like, you get a head start because you're my sister. Other than that, back up now. And like I said, that moment would have been made a little bit better if Weiss would have hugged her. I would have loved that. Just like, I forgive you. I noticed you're a mission lady, but you're still my sister. We gotta go.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, then from there, Ironwood is in the chamber of the Maiden, waiting for Winter to bring the Winter Maiden power so he can get the staff.
Yeah.
At that point, he hears the elevator coming down. He's like, thank you for being loyal, like, yada, yada, this. And then he turns around and sees it's Oscar. He's like, who am I speaking to right now? It's like, it's still me. He's like, are you planning to fight me? Or he's like, you didn't bring the lamp. Good. I wouldn't trust myself right now. It's like, at least he recognizes that he's just like on edge at the moment. It's like, you plan to fight me? It's just, no, maybe it's Oz melding into me, but this cane, when I hold it, it gives me courage, it gives me confidence. And he tries to talk Ironwood down. Ironwood ain't hearing any of it.
Not anymore.
And then just like, I will sacrifice whatever it takes to stop her. Then you're no better than she is, James. James is what my friends call me. You can call me General, and just shoots him.
Yep.
Off of the platform that they're on, down a much deeper hole than the Spring Maidens thing, mind you. Frickin' Cinder.
That was a Luke Skywalker fall.
That was an Emperor Palpatine fall.
No, but he's
and
fine.
just like him, he survived.
There's a great video that I want to recommend to people. It's on Twitter, where it's just this guy's like watching the Return of the Jedi. It's like, this guy is getting shocked. He throws him down the tunnel where he explodes, and the place where that explosion was explodes. So as he's falling, basically about to pass out, you hear, Oscar, you hear Ozpin's voice again.
First
Oscar
time in a
turns
while.
around, getting a renewed amount of energy, manages to bust his way out the bottom of Atlas. And as he's falling, manages to activate Oz's semblance, which is the force field. And he's like, you're back. You saved me. And, actually, you saved us. And something that I noticed when Oz was talking, his voice changed. It sounds closer to Oscar's voice and how Oscar speaks. Because when Aaron Dismuke was in Ozpin mode, Aaron Dismuke was trying to sound like Shannon McCormick, portraying Ozpin.
Yep.
But when Ozpin was talking, it sounded like Shannon McCormick was trying to sound like Aaron Dismuke. So I think the bleeding is happening both ways.
Yep. They're melding into one.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when you say that he used Oz's semblance, are we thinking that maybe Oscar's about to be a little bit Deku? Where he's just got a bunch of old semblances in him, and
I don't think so. I think it's just Oz's power.
I think that is a safe bet based off of the powers we saw Oz kind of tap into in the fight against
Cinder.
Cinder, thank you. He may be that way. He may not master everything because obviously you can only do so much in one fucking body, but I think he does have the potential to access whatever semblance he's had touch him.
Mm-hmm.
And there's the soul transfer. And Ozma was able to do magic back when humans could. What's to say he still can't?
That might just be magic. I don't know. Or we don't know. I said semblance, but that's me pulling something out of my ass. It could just be straight up magic. And then, let's see. As that all happens, basically, we get to this end bit of spoken word where Oz has this monologue, a very good monologue of just the single thing that all humans share is fear. And he goes through all the different types of fear. You see Cinder just enraged at not getting the Maiden's power. You see Ironwood receiving the message from Winter saying it's gone. Ironwood screaming. The Ruby girl, all the Team Ruby and Team Juniper, just like okay, it's okay.
The fear of failure.
Yep.
And it's showing Rin.
Yep. You see Neo giving the lamp to Cinder, who just takes it without even acknowledging Neo.
Rude.
How dare.
How dare.
So, and at that point, what do you think Cinder's going to ask the lamp?
It's a tough one.
Yeah.
My thought is, how do I get rid of the Grimm inside of me? Because that is the thing that is binding her to Salem. That is the reason she can't kill Ruby.
And that is the one thing Ruby has over her.
Mm-hmm.
The smartest thing that she could do is go, what is the best possible path to take to reach my goals?
She ain't that smart.
That's too straightforward of a thing. Just point you in a direction, and that's too much. They're not gonna do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think she wants to get the Grimm out of her.
At this point, it's a weakness, and she's all about power.
Yep.
She could ask something like,
thoughts?
"What's my biggest?"
I don't know.
What's my biggest fear, you said?
What's my biggest failure? Why do I keep losing? What can I do to improve and fast?
Mm-hmm. Get rid of the Grimm in your arm. And that's all my questions. Wait, how do I get rid of the Grimm? No! Wrong question. See you in 1,000 years.
Bitches!
And then, as there's some doom and gloom, a storm approaches Atlas, and a giant whale blob thing, Grim, comes
Whale
out
blimp.
with a bunch. I just was calling it a giant Metroid.
I mean, fair.
What's
the name of that whale Pokemon?
Whalelord.
Whale Lord.
Yep, it's a Grim Whalelord.
It uses Body Slam. It's super effective. Surrounded by a bunch of small flying Grim, probably the flying monkeys. And on top of it, Salem. She is at Atlas. And that is where the volume ends. No post-credit scene.
Garbage.
None of that. Overall thoughts on this volume?
I think it's my favorite. And I think it may just barely overtake 6 as the best volume of the show.
I'm going back and forth in my head.
I think that 6 was better overall, point by point. You can point to things and just go, these are objectively better. But just from a subjective one, this is my favorite one. I love it. There's so much to love here. A little more Neo, just pepper that in just a little bit more. Like when she was the little maid and she just skips away. I'm like, that's my baby. But yeah, there was just so much that I wanted.
My baby.
Going into part 6.
That's what he's gonna say when she dies.
I'm gonna be inconsolable. Don't let her. But yeah, going into part 6, it was very trepidatious. Like, is it gonna be good? And it just went up and up and up. And that was just sort of a good feeling. And like I said, there's more revelations, more big world things as opposed to just like they're in a little small town, which is kind of like the farm sort of thing where it's just a little small self-contained thing. But there was a lot more personally for me. Like I said, the whole Shani thing, which was absolute money, got Penny back, which I'm just like, I liked Penny, now I love Penny. There's just a whole lot of good stuff. Give me a little more Neo and a little more Maria, and it would have just been rocket right to the moon. But as it stands, yep, favorite. And this is a totally good volume.
Yeah, I need to watch both back to back to like really. 7 is my favorite too, but just to see which one is better, I would need to watch both of them back to back. Yeah, there's so much good. All the Shani stuff, all the Penny stuff. Just the building, like eat, and just the stuff with all the other characters as well. I loved the training montage episode, and how some of that stuff comes back. Like there's a fun little gag scene, like Jean is ferrying the kids to school, and then when they're ferrying the people to the evacuation zones, everybody single file, hand on the shoulder in front of them. Show them how it's done, kids. Move. It's just like, that's fun. That's a nice little callback. Just a bunch of good stuff. It's things that like established in earlier episodes of the season come back to play. Foreshadowing. A lot of good things here. The Shani, like the Jacques thing getting taken care of super quickly. Again, I wish that could have been given a bit more room.
Yeah.
Some breathing room.
They may have alluded to there being more to come with the Shani family, with the way Wheatley ran the moment with his mom, calling back to him. There may be some more where we'll get in the next season, because again, we're not leaving Atlas, at least to some degree.
I'm just saying
the story might split, which is what I'm kind of expecting.
I'm just saying I would have liked a little bit more of Councilman Shani.
Yeah, I think this overall will have benefited from 2 more episodes. 1 episode focusing on the Aesops and another episode on Mayor Shani. Maybe even just right before the volume, have your little 7 to 8 minute snippet, short sort of thing, and just have the Aesop and just go, ooh, who are those people? And then once you get there, it ends with them trapping them, and they're just going, oh, that's who they were. That's my biggest thing, and they needed more development. Other than that, fire.
Drew?
I said this earlier, but this volume almost single-handedly made me want to watch the show again. Before, like, volume 6, it was just like, oh wow, there's potentially hope, but I've been down this alley before, and I've got burned multiple times. I was just a jaded bastard for the longest time.
Yeah,
but... And between the DC Comics and then Blake's anthology novel continuously tried to find new ways for me to hate Blake. This volume, between all the small and subtle details and the fact that a lot of the expectations that I had going into this volume, I was thinking like, okay, is Ironwood just going to be a straight up lunatic from the start, or are we going to see him slowly degrade into a lunatic? And I got that. Am I going to get Salem like breaking Ruby down, basically telling her what we already knew? She killed Summer, but how was she going to do it? And she just nailed it. My hairs were standing up when she just looked down at Ruby and just casually says, "I killed your mom. I can easily kill you too." Mm-hmm. Like you are nothing. I'm like all of you. This is my favorite volume. It is the best one. And I can honestly say I cannot wait to see what happens next.
Oh, snap.
So we're Rooster Teeth. Someone's like, we got him.
All right. We can ramp down. Don't have to try as hard anymore, everybody.
We got him to say it.
You're the reason they've been crunching, Drew. It's your fault.
It got us volume 7. Worth it.
Oh, no.
I'm kidding. Crunch is awful and it should never be practiced.
We here at 2200 Productions do not encourage crunch. Don't do it. Stop it.
No.
Don't.
This man does not represent our ideals. It doesn't speak for us. In fact, he's not part of our organization. He's just that one guy in chat.
Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm gonna need to just rewatch these again.
Same.
So just to listen to the songs, they have like little YouTube clips of the Aesop's fight and the Ironwood fight. I've just been like playing those fights, but just not looking at it, just so I can listen to the songs. It has all the sound effects and stuff, but just groove into the songs, however little of it there is. Yeah,
yeah.
I hate that
totally good.
It was.
Wait till June. Actually, really quickly, you've been reading the comics?
I've read
Drew?
the one, yeah.
Ooh. How was that?
It was basically about Yang being on the ranch and her coping with her
PTSD.
Yeah, her PTSD, and just doing a bunch of different chores around the barn. She met up with this one lady who also had a prosthetic arm like her that kind of knew what she was going through. It was just very lackluster.
Okay.
But the part that really got under my skin the most was the cover.
Oh.
It was Blake and Yang.
Mm-hmm.
And Blake was not even mentioned in the story at all.
Mm-mm.
They know.
She was just there on the cover because they know. Please buy it, you freaking sheep.
She's just shrugging like, your guess is good as mine.
Oh,
I'm halfway around the world. I don't know.
Okay. Well, gentlemen, another good volume of RWBY.
Really quickly, expectations for the next time?
I was gonna say let's bet, man.
No, you know what? I could take that because it's just gonna get either better or just stay the course.
Well, that's the bet. Is it going to stay the course, get worse, or get better? It's all very possible. It just depends on what you think.
It's definitely not gonna get worse.
It can't get worse. if it could get me on their side, it can't get worse. They're like, okay, everything he hated before, don't do that again.
Exactly.
Season 4 followed Season 3. It's still possible.
Beginning of the volume is all the Schnee's heads on pikes.
How did we get here? Doesn't matter. Moving on.
Blake's katana's all bloody, and she's like, what?
Ruby has all the maiden powers.
Cinder's just frying up Neo and eating her. Well, this isn't what I want at all.
John legitimately has a harem.
Oh god.
And his command of the harem is what it takes to beat Salem. Series over. Pyrrha looking at
this
the
is how
sky.
This is how they beat Salem. She joins his harem.
Looking from the sky, Pyrrha says, "I'm so proud of you."
This was the logical conclusion of your story.
As the
I
credits
died for this, chump.
As the credits roll, and now to explain Aura. So, this is Ruby's semblance.
Monty planned this from the very beginning.
This is what he wanted, you guys. You can't not like it.
As the credits roll, DA's just like, damn, I gotta pay you $100. It got so much worse. Oh. Yeah, as far as expectations, yeah. To me, one of the things that I think was a big difference for this season of RWBY, partially last season, but this season especially, was a certain person is not the head of RT Animation anymore. I really think Gray fiddled his way into different productions to add or remove things. Took stuff away, messed with planning, and that's why we got some crappy seasons of RWBY, and that's why we got Genlock. The true test is going to be Genlock Season 2.
That is gonna say so much about
this theory.
It is.
He has said they were probably going to still collaborate creatively, so he may come back as a director, which, cool, whatever, but he doesn't have that lead role to where, like, he has weight behind, hey, change this.
Oh, no. Yep.
He's not the head of the animation anymore.
I mean, Hollum literally said, okay, I didn't know this shit was going on. It stops now.
Yeah, the rest of the
So I
department can
doubt
say...
they give him any...
Yeah, the rest of the department can now say no.
Yeah, I doubt they'd give him any actual power.
It's like, you are there to direct this show because it was your baby, your vision, but that is all you get. So
It's probably because he's contractually obligated to be a part of the series.
Yeah. As long as he stays in that heroic coma, we'll be good.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, I'm looking forward to Volume 8, seeing they left us on a big cliffhanger, and even like we have this big battle coming, and we've still got one relic left to go find. We gotta go get the crown.
All the way in Vacuo.
Yep. Or no, sorry. Shit. Duh. There's two. There's two, because...
Oh, yeah, they gotta get the one at Beacon.
Yeah.
I believe that one's a staff. No. The staff is...
No, the staff was in Atlas.
So actually,
a sword.
so there's a sword and a crown.
It's the sword.
The crown is probably at Beacon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd imagine the crown being a beacon.
Which, like, is not just protected by a door that the maiden can open, because Cinder would have went and gotten that shit a long time ago.
Yep.
She just straight up lied to Salem. She's like, yeah, killed Ospid. Where's the crown? I can't talk. But you're like,
talk to my associate Neo. What? Just runs away. Iron Man's away. Yeah, unless anybody else has anything to say, I think we can wrap up.
No, that's pretty much it. I can't wait for next season already.
I want the soundtrack! That's all I want to say.
I was just about to say that. I want the new album to drop. I want the album out because I do want to hear the Caleb song on its own. I do want to hear some of the other music I heard playing in the background, like the training music. I want to hear that. I want that training sequence music badly.
I want that. The music with Ren and Nora's kiss moment. There's a lot.
And other than that, I just look forward to now.
I want the opening.
Sorry. I look forward to seeing the next, teaser for the following season. I'm now anxious. I'm excited again. I've been excited in seasons. I was cautiously optimistic at the last one. I was like, okay, maybe next one they'll follow up. Let's see how they can do it. We've had a good season before. Let's see if they can follow it up. They did. They met expectations, if not exceeding it a little bit more this season for me.
That was a big thing for me too. It was so fun waking up Saturday morning and going, a new episode of RWBY again.
When we would be at Yoma and an episode would come out, regardless of what we were doing, at some point in that day, you and me would be on that bed watching an episode of RWBY.
And now DA joins us.
Yeah,
it's a
now
three-way.
DA's part of the squad.
He was the charm that we needed. He brought the light.
Don't give him that.
He truly
don't give him that.
Brought the charm to Team KRMA.
No, don't give him that.
He's not here.
Don't give him that. Good. All right.
I want the opening because I think that's like my second favorite one in all of them. I really love that one.
It's a good one.
I especially love the bass with "Keep Dreaming About a Better World" and the fact you just hear boom, 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 boom. I'm like, yeah, that's fantastic. And I also want them to go back to putting it in theaters. I think they've earned that.
They lost a lot of steam from those past few seasons. We may get back to that kind of hype. We may get that kind of hype back, but they have to buy some goodwill back still. It's still not like the public itself is winded from that. They need to rebuild hype.
I'd be in there.
In his Neo cosplay.
His gender bent Neo. I mean, all you have to do is spray paint some pieces
now that
of
I've spoken it into existence, it needs to happen.
All you have to do is recolor some of his Riddler gear.
There's wigs.
Yeah, just get a wig with a baller hat.
Yeah.
How about no?
You don't have any hair to get in the way of a wig, man. It's perfect.
Or you don't need hair. You just have the bowler hat.
Or just dye half of your beard.
Oh my goodness.
The beard. That would work.
That sounds terrible.
Just going to work the next day, like,
just
King?
Step into my office. What's the problem?
1, the beard. 2, you still have guy liner on. 3,
we know there's a blade in your umbrella. That's against company policy.
I'm trying a new look, please.
Do you not like it? Chink. You're fired. Oh.
All right.
Because I talked. It's not a character.
It's just his OC.
All right. With that, we are looking forward to Volume 8 of RWBY.
Definitely.
Soundtrack.
Absolutely.
Whole shebang. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to this episode of Because Reasons. We'll figure out something. We have the Genlock episode, and after that, we don't have anything. But we can find some things to talk about.
We can. We should.
Like do a My Hero episode.
We can start doing deep dives into different parts of RWBY, like actual focused discussions on semblance or weapon craft ideas. We could actually start digging into parts of it.
We could also do like a volume rewatch.
Oh, I'd be good for that.
That'd be good.
Start with Volume 5.
It's gonna be rough.
I don't want to hurt anymore.
No, bring the hurt.
I buried that part of me. I don't want it to come back.
We're digging it up. That's it. We're bringing it back. full necromancy in here.
Thank you, everybody, for watching this episode. We will see you next time.
See you later.
I can look at my posters and smile again.